Welcome to Te Waka Phambili, the building of a Warram Tiki 38 catamaran. In this episode, we start the pod build. The pod serves as a cockpit, as a natural spot to kind of hang around and congregate in. Hunniker sketches show a simple pod following the Warram philosophy. A great example of this is the build of Pilgrim by Jacques Pierret. We could not help falling in love with Dan Hardwick's Luckyfish design, with a few small changes of our own. We liked the idea of being out of the elements a little, albeit at the cost of some windage. We did feel, however, that the benefits such as water catchment, solar panel exposure, and seating and lounging space, and the closures option would outweigh this. Again, many thanks go to Stewart Coats, and also Adrian and Janine from Kira, who have been so helpful in providing much needed information for this build.
Here we have the bottom of the pod, all glassed now. So that is its footprint. Grant's done a join here, which is a, what kind of join?
A pace and butt joint.
A pace and butt join. Not a pain in the arse, pain in the butt join, a pace and butt join.
Could be a pain in the butt.
And this is our curve that we've got at the front. The one recommendation that we had was to put a 45-degree angle on there, and we decided that the curve might be better, just to deflect waves so that it doesn't hit the front of the pod quite so severely. So we've done that, and that's come out really, really nicely. Far better than I anticipated. So, yep, that's where we have it there. The bottom of the pod.
Alright, so we're at the point where we're needing to take the excess off this bend at the front of the pod floor. This bend we created using these formers to get that shape, and going from a 12mm thickness onto a 9mm thickness as we go to the vertical. So we needed the excess here just to screw and provide a bit of leverage to get that bend uniform all the way around on those formers. So we're removing that excess now, and we're going to kind of scarf it in onto the edge over here in front. So we've marked off where those joints need to be, and what we're going to do is we're going to cut a flat there so it tapers from the 12mm gently down to 0, and then the 9mm front of the pod will go in that space there, and the excess will stick out the bottom, and we'll shape that to blend in with a curve over there. And in doing that, we're able to do two things. We're able to get a nice long glue joint to go from the 12 to the 9, and we're able to find a way to actually blend the 9mm into the 12mm thickness, as well as follow the curve all the way around. So it was one way of kind of killing two birds with one stone. We just glassed the inside of this. You'll see we've got a I think it's 430 grams per square meter, double bias I think it is, and we've got that both sides. The double bias has got a chop strand layer on it as well, and then of course we've got the 6 ounce or 200 grams per square meter woven cloth on the top of that too. It does make this cloth a whole lot nicer to deal with. Right, so the next trick is going to be to take the circular saw. We've just planed and used to level that top surface, and I'm hoping that we're going to be able to run the circular saw along that top and keep the blade as vertical as possible. Obviously we don't want that angle changing as we go. We want to keep that in a nice consistent plane.
Ready to go. how do you think that worked?
Well, so far I'm pretty happy with the way it's come out. So we should be able to plane this up to the line now and leave a feather edge at the top there. Right, so there's the line, that's what we've cut out. And you'll be able to plane up to that line, leave a feather edge. Oh,
And here we have our flat surface. Well done, Grant. Clever boy.
yeah, the spaces between the laminates on the ply are fairly even actually, which is a pretty good sign, other than the very top one sign. Where it goes into the curve, they're all fairly even. I'm just trying to get in here.
There's our line there.
Yeah, but you see this, this bit of laminate that's on there? It shows you that it's sticking out a bit. So this whole area is high.
Right, we're getting to very exciting stages now of the pod. And we have now taken that template of the front and back. And we have now cut our boards. That's the back. And as we go around, we come to the front. So that gives you a bit of an idea, not really possibly, of the sort of size of what the pod is going to be.
We glass both sides of both of these boards and then set them up so that they're all square and in position and ready to glue in.
Today's task was to attach the back of the pod onto the floor, and that's worked quite nicely. We've even managed to put in the fillets. We've got sturdy fillets where the side benches will go. And the best part of it is that because it's nice and big and bulky and flat, it's going along so smoothly and quickly that we're seeing progress. And it's just been motivating, which has been great.
We're just dry fitting the side panels to the pod. Kaz will show you at her end where there are little cutouts on the forward panel and the aft panel. So we're resting the side panels of the pod on there, and we're going to trace the bottom just to fit that curve as best we can. We've now got the side panel resting on top of the cutout, and you'll see that joint's going to go inside. So this panel is effectively sitting on top of the floor. We want to now trace the curve that we got on the inside there, so that's why we've got this excess down the bottom here. You got him? Yep, you're doing well. That's exactly what I'm after. I'm going to do it again around the curve. So it's looking good, looking rather boxy.
Right, where we're at the moment is dry fitting the side panels. We have put in the fillets that we need, but they're not glued in just yet, all dry fitting. Screws going in the bottom into the bottom fillet. Grant just pulling up the bottom a little bit on that side. And you can see how we're going to be attaching it to those fillets on the inside there. We've just cut out the companionway, so at least we can see inside. And then we're going to need to lower this so that we can
Actually get to work on it at floor level.
That's what we cut out. The washboard, it's called, I think.
Yep.
Grant's got another layer of glass to go in on this join on the front here. much pressure.
Hasn't been properly lined up, and I'm missing its pre-drilled hole.
Can I hold it for you?
It's okay, we'll find it. It's just a matter of being patient. Look there, and check this index mark there. Yep, we should be good. Right, just a little bit of squeeze out, not too much pressure. Looking for about 1 millimeter of glue in the joint.
The outer shell for the pod is now all put together, and we have Grant inside, busy puzzling out how the steps are going to go, where they're going to go in relation to the bench. So there are lots of little clues and pencil marks and readings all the way around. So it's starting to become more than just a little shell. It soon will be the pod. Where we're trying to fit in the step.
These are the lockers on the port side of the pod. Facing left is the forward end.
So this box over here is going to be our gas bottles. This long narrow one extends all the way down, and it's going to be for fishing rods and
Lots of fishing
long things. That space there will probably be for the pump, the bilge pump hose, which is going to be over there. So it's going to go there. And then this is a step down from the top, and that will be another little storage box. Been a head scratching exercise for Grant, but we're getting there. So these little gaps that we've been making here, they are for the hinges, for the lids of the benches in the pod. So Grant's worked out a little system where there's going to be a panel on the top, and this is going to have holes in. So along here we'll have holes for the rope hinge, and then the lid will go on, and it will have its holes in here, and then the two will attach. But at least we've now got a space where we can thread the rope through. So that was our biggest issue. That's why we've had to do
space for the rope, and also to provide some support underneath that lip of the touch.
Perfect.
Well, it's a bit rough at this stage, but yeah, we'll get better.
Grant's pretty chuffed.
Yeah.
We've managed to finish the bench that goes in here, and it's at long last gone in. This is going to be the gas compartment, the gas bottle compartment, the long narrow one down the end for the fishing rods and anything else that's long and needs space. And that will probably be where the hose for the bilge pump goes. And this area here is our step to get in. So you step on the top here, and then you put your foot down the bottom, and out you go the other side.
We've dropped the floor level by about 250 millimeters, which requires a step up. It also makes sitting on the locker lids a lot more comfortable. You're not sitting with your knees around your ears.
We've made it fit for our purpose. So we're going to have the step.
There'll be a flares hatch under there.
And a flares hatch. And so, yep, well done, Grant.
It's amazing just how much sanding there is. You don't see much change, but there's been a lot of sanding.
And again, we always think, oh, it's just a box. And that box ends up taking a whole lot longer than anticipated.
It's a well-sanded box.
And there we have it from the other angle. Looking at it from the inside. Stable.
Yep, let's go for it.
In the next episode, we create and assemble the starboard pod lockers, finally work out a sneaky method of making rope hinges, construct a rope drum for the steering system, and build in a few more sexy curves. Feel free to drop in a comment or a question. We've really enjoyed the positive viewer interactions, and we'll certainly keep trying to keep responding as soon as we can. Thanks very much for watching. We'll see you next time.